Welcome, people. I decided to start a vlog. So, I am... Actually, let me turn this off.
Long that Jane worked with that she was unable to train. Officer will be here soon.
So, what Lisa's talking about, we were digging because we are working on this area right here with... I'm gonna build like a wall, a nice little stone wall from here to about there. And we were leveling out... Hi, Luca. We were leveling out this, but it was much higher. So we were digging down, down, down.
It was much higher, and it was filled with poison ivy and bricks and stones and shards and vinca vine, and really just, it was strangling the azalea here. And so very innocently, huge project, we know it's a huge project, but very innocently we want to make the soil as friendly to whatever we might end up putting there as possible. So being stubborn, we just were going down 6 inches or more. And Clayon yesterday
Found this big piece of bone. First thing I found.
over by the
Well, it was like I said, it was in this general area, because this is where I was mostly digging. As you can see, the only spot that I really dug over here is this, because I was leveling stuff off. But in this like general area, I can't remember specifically, I found this guy right here. And when I found it, it looked more like wood, because we were digging pieces of wood out of the ground. And so when I found it, it kind of had this color to it. But I noticed that it was bone, and I was like, oh, there's a dog. So I assumed that maybe it was like a chew toy, like a dog bone thing. But the more I dug in this area, like I said, I kept finding pieces that looked like this.
There was a huge root that came up from the tree that Clayon's digging up now.
This root right here.
That was going all the way up towards the azalea. I have a picture of it, a photo of it.
Right.
And so, yeah, it was like Clayon said.
And so as I'm digging here in this area, I came across these pieces. Now, they look white, but yesterday they looked like this. So for a while, I was assuming it was like pieces of wood. But what it ended up being is a bunch of bones. Now, I guess we call the police so they can come and check and see if it's human bones or just animal bones. But there's just a lot of them in this general area, and I kind of got sketched out by it, to be honest. And so yeah, they're gonna come and check it out and see if it's animal bone. I am really hoping it's animal bone. I don't want it to be human bone. I'm sorry. I kind of want it to just be an animal of some kind. And the reason why I guess we are a little bit more concerned, because this, I can't specifically remember what it is. I'm gonna have to ask Lisa. What is this rock specifically again?
We've been told that it was a grinding stone.
So sort of like a Native American tool, or a place where they like grind their, is it food or?
Well, I don't, it could be food, it could have been corn, it could have been medicinal things, or some of both. So there's a lot to uncover here that I haven't. And we have, of course, this historic cemetery that goes back to the 17th century.
So the fact that that's some kind of Native American grinding stone and then finding bones, we're kind of thinking it's some, but we don't. I don't want to jump to conclusions.
But the native peoples were the Wampanoag, although the Narragansett also came this way. And the reason why Rehoboth is so significant historically is because, in terms of Native American history and U.S. American history, is that King Philip's War was fought in large part in Rehoboth, and that was 1675 to 1676. And it essentially is the marker by which Native American resistance in the East was largely defeated. So Anawan was the chief. So there's Anawan Rock here. This is just a very historic area for the indigenous, and if this is, it's quite possible that this was a camp, seasonal camp, before.
But also there was a family that lived here for many generations,
Yes.
and it was also
Yes.
a farm
Yes.
at one point.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
could also be
Yes.
livestock, like old livestock.
Right.
or-
We're hoping that maybe they're just cast off bones, but as Clayon showed you, one of the bones is quite big. So we'll figure it out. Police, did you say the police are on their way?
I think so.
Police are on their way to determine, maybe pretty easily, whether they're human bone or not. So,
Well, I would assume they would have to take it someplace. I don't know. Are they going to do it? They
well,
would
if
do
the
it
medical
here.
examiner comes here, I think that police is just the first step, and then they would bring in a county medical examiner. I don't think they'll take anything. They shouldn't anyway.
So this is the big one, and then as I was digging some more, I found other little small pieces.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Adam, and this is Clayon.
Sorry.
Oh, that's right. We're not
Sorry.
Benson.
I got all vaccinated and stuff. I'm good.
How often are you called out to do something, check out something like this?
We haven't had one in a couple of years. Actually, they found some up on Pine Street
Mm-hmm.
a few years ago, and they actually ended up being human, but they were back from like King Philip's War.
Well,
Whoa.
that's
way back
That's
in
what
the
she
day.
was. That's what.
what I was
So,
just talking
Yeah,
about.
we just. So these little pieces.
And we did stop immediately. So.
Yeah, once I started getting suspicious amount of little bones, I was like, yeah. And at first they were like wood color. It was weird.
Yeah.
It bleached quick.
Yeah. There's a So I'm just gonna go call my sergeant because I don't know if he wants. Because usually, like the detectives, they'll collect this stuff and they'll have it tested and everything like that.
Right.
So I'm just gonna go call him real quick and see what he wants me to do. So.
Okay.
Cause yeah, he's a decent size. I just can't tell. How long have you lived here?
I have lived here 8 years. However, Ruthanna Davis.
Yep.
I wrote her this morning and asked her whether she had any ideas as to what, because they've lived here continuously since the 17th century. Her family.
So where did you dig them up? Or like right?
Literally right here.
here?
Yeah, like this one, it was in this general area,
Yeah.
but all of these little ones literally came from
Came from right over here.
from this area right there.
And
Like all of
just so you know,